of the stream. So with that, once again, this is J-Storm. Casting with me is Freedom, and we'll be going into the game. So here we are into the game already, both junglers visiting out each other. So Casey, could you try to give me a brief rundown of what you think is going to be happening in the next few minutes?
Right, so before we start the game, let's go through the champion picks since we did miss the pick advance. So on the side of Fat Rabbits, they are running Irelia in the top lane, Javan in the jungle, Xerath in the mid lane, Grace and Trash bot lane. And on the side of SAJ, Nyx Water on his Rumble, Safety on the Lee Sin, Lovida on his Fizz, and Prince and Sue on Trash and Janna respectively.
Now here's some very interesting things that are happening over here. Sue as well as Prince, the two of them have lane swapped 4 out of every 5 games that the SAJ has played so far, and they always back this up with Invade that comes in from Safety as well as Nyx Water. This is to allow them to avoid the unfavorable matchups as well as the strong laning presence that TFR has shown us against the previous games against Jakarta Juggernauts as well as Hanoi Fulus.
Right, so this is a good strategy coming, considering that you do know that Pestchap is a very proficient AD carry, and considering the fact that it is a Graves Lucian matchup, Graves has the upper hand in this matchup, so a very good play coming from SAJ to lane swap that. As you see, Lovida getting chunked down very low by Panda Boss.
Now Lovida is he enjoys this pocket pick of the Fizz for himself. He plays a fair bit of this assassin in the middle lane, and we will always see him tending to lose out in terms of CS in the early stages. But that's the thing about Fizz, you pick a bad matchup and it's okay, because Fizz in the later stages of the game is going to be able to do more with the roam as well as to charm the water. So Pandapal is actually chunking down Lovida quite low over here, about to a third of his health, but he has purchased those regeneration items and consumables for himself, so he should be able to heal up a fair bit.
Right, so we saw both junglers just going for the opposite side's blue buff. And now looks like Lee Sin will be doing his red buff, but the side of Fat Rabbits are going to stick around in the enemy jungle. They may try to go for a gang in this mid lane, taking out every camp on the side of the blue side.
Oh, Panda Paws, he gets Lovida really low, that's the flash, but no ignite on Panda Paws as he has gone for a barrier, but D-Den counts in with a flag and drag to pick up first blood for the team, but Safety, he gets the safeguard, he tries to go for the Sonic Wave, but here comes Chokebot to the rescue, he gets the slowdown, and the Fat Rabbit will be able to escape away from Safety.
Right, so there was very some untimed aggression coming from Lovida. They didn't know where the jungler was on the side of TFR. D-Den was in position to respond to that. Good play on Pandapals to get Lovida so low on his own, and Pandapals coming in for the cleanup was just the topping on the cake.
But here, Nyx Water has rotated into the bottom lane to pick up all this farm for himself. Meanwhile, Pestchap not really being able to bully him off the tower just yet, as the support as well as jungle isn't there for the dive. But look at the warning coming from the Fat Rabbit. It's a very protective area around the mid lane, and they should be spot any attempts on the Panda Paws from Safety.
Right, so Irelia still not in the lane yet, has been following his jungle around, so he has that EXP deficiency coming in. Nyx Water has been in lane, he's going to start picking up that CS with those harpoons, so we'll be seeing as to where Fat Rabbit's going to send Irelia and how D-Den's going to bring up the aggression on that Javan.
Definitely indeed. So far, both teams, I would have to say, Fat Rabbit slightly hit in terms of go, but Saigon Jokers, despite losing the first part, are getting a hit in terms of CS and O. Multiple members grouping up here for a dive onto Jokebot, but we actually see Jokebot, he fills the water in the brush, so that's going to leave him rather vulnerable at the moment. So Crazy Pine as well as Pestchap, they're trying to zone the Rumble as much as possible in order to buy Jokebot as much time as he can to get back into the game.
So the gang at the top lane was spotted out by the buff, by the ward at the blue buff. So even though he did fail that ward at the try brush, he did see Janna coming in. So that's no worries at all. Looks like they got going for some counter aggression on this top lane. Jokebot is still level 2.
Some damage coming in from the harass. We have to note here that Prince is level 5. So although it is a 2v2 lane, it heavily favors Prince as well as Sue, because both of them are ranged champions and Prince has a massive level advantage. So this is the result of a lane swap. You swap the lanes and you get experience spikes on your AD carry in exchange for your top laner having to fall behind early on.
But we do take a look at Nyx Water. He is still farming up quite safely underneath the turret. Jokebot is just gonna get some CS with those Blade Surge.
So we're going to be speeding up the stream a little bit so as to catch up to the live service. Now the reason why this happened is due to the technical difficulties that we had experienced earlier. So the Fat Rabbit is going to be picking up a few more kills over here. But let's wait for the speed boost to come in first before I give you guys the full spoilers of what happens.
Let's speed up the game.
So there we go. Come on, observer. Press on the plus key. Let's go. Never mind about that. Let's just go back to narrating what's happening in the game. And there we go. We're at 2 times speed right now. And I'm going to have to be commenting at 2 times the pace as well. So you guys going to have to keep up with me. It's going to be rap fast, lightning fast. And there we go. Joke ball level 4-2 as well. Spins comes in from the back. Safety tries to loop around the side, but they aren't able to find it just yet. It looks like a huge engagement coming in. Safety gets slowed down by a little bit of damage coming in from Prince in the meantime. But here we are back to 1 time speed. And I can go back to commentating at the same pace once again.
I don't think you have to do the 2 times speed, but as you did see the aggression coming in from SAJ, going a little bit too far into the turret. Jokebot has the power of Irelia. They do have to consider that when they're going for that dive. So very nice equilibrium strike, just chunking safety down pretty low, just negating that dive altogether.
So Saigon Jokers, so far all of these lane swap, they have done a much better job in terms of protecting the top laner, and we see Nixwater currently at level 6. Previously when we saw these things happen, we have seen Saigon Jokers usually group up, get the first round of items and start to pressure the dragon very quickly. Upon detecting this, we have to see how the Fat Rabbit tries to respond to this situation.
D-Dash back in this mid lane, he's gonna look for a gang at Lovida and he goes
once again, Lovida gets knocked up. It's the stun as well, but there we go. It's right off the arcane and he finds the kill after Lovida. There's a response shock as well that brings D-Dan to be about half health, but that was so well played between the middle laner as well as the jungler from the Fat Rabbits.
So that's the second death we saw from Lovida coming in from his aggression in the mid lane. TFR really doing the best of their abilities, having D-Dan sit in that mid lane, knowing that Lovida is going to come out for that CS, and just going for the flag and drag. He's going to take a knockout, he's going to get stunned. Even the throw pole is not going to save him.
Ooh. Oh, there we go. It's a hook on the safety. Wombo combo. Lots of chain lockdowns onto him. Cataclysm bomb and the damage coming from Panda Plus. The Fat Rabbit took a huge lead and go up 3-0 against Saigon Jokers. But once again, we have to apologize to our viewers as we are facing a little bit of technical difficulties and we won't have audio for today's stream.
So there was a crazy flash hook coming in from Crazy Pie. He saw...
Oh, so close onto Sue. Sorry, you carry on.
He saw the moment that he saw, was it safety? Yes, safety. The moment he walked into vision, just went for the grab, no hesitation at all. That shows how crazy Pine is. But it looks like the side of SAJ is going to come around the dragon and they're going to start it up.
So this is a very interesting decision coming from Saigon Jokers. They know they have hit the power spikes already and they're not afraid to use this to try and bully out the Fat Rabbit. But the Fat Rabbit, they're looping around the sides. Looks like they're not going to contest this, but try first steal. Collateral damage comes in, but in the end, it's the raid team that takes it. Panda Paws a little bit of trouble. It steps on Equalizer. Here comes Charm the Waters. It's the Dragon Shock, and Panda Paws will be going down. D-Dan tries to come in for the rescue, but he's already being picked up as collateral damage in this case. Pass Trap taking a chunk of damage, but Ray buffs to the rescue right now. Lovida getting hooked up by Crazy Pine, but without any support, without your top laner, without your mid laner, and without your jungler, you're not going to be doing anything. So the Fat Rabbit, they were ahead, but looks like Saigon Jokers responded really well to get themselves back into the game.
Right, after that fight, they did get 2 kills, the dragon as well as that red buff, but meanwhile, Irelia is going to get a good amount of damage onto this top lane turret, so pretty much the score's going to be even back up. Prince does have the red buff, so Pascha is going to have a harder time in that lane. Lovida is going to pick up that blue buff for himself, as we see the side of SAJ is going to turn back the aggression on TFR and bring the game back.
So now the Saigon Jokers, they have chosen to swap the lanes back. Let's see how the two things stack up at the moment. Nixwater is slightly behind in terms of CS, but he has the kill as well as the assist, and as well as a level advantage over Jokebot in the top lane. So we will have to see how the Fat Rabbit tries to react to this. And in the bottom lane as well, despite the Fat Rabbit getting all these kills, they find themselves slightly behind in their side lanes. Oh, Crazy Pine lands hook on the safety. But once again, Crazy Pine, you're throwing out all these Q shots, but there's no one exactly there to follow up on all of these.
Right, so Paschap going up for aggression on Prince. So D-Dan has been showing a bunch of presence in the mid lane, so now he's going to go up to that top lane. Next Water is down in CS against this Irelia.
D-Dan camping very patiently in the top lane over there. Let's see if he will be able to get payoffs onto this. Meanwhile, Jokebot trying to set up as much as possible. Nick's Water hanging around, very dangerous. Oh, I think he just showed himself. Yes, D-Dan, he revealed himself to his opponents, and we see the red colored pings going down onto him immediately. Nick's Water has spotted him out, but the Fair Rabbit looks like they still want to hang around the top lane. Oh, in fact, they're actually pulling Panda Paws over. Let's see if they're going to be going for a dive over here. There are tons of lockup coming in from Jokebot as well as D-Dan. That should be all 3 hits off the right of the arcane going to him. And here we go. It's the stun, it's the knockup, and all 3 shots land. And it is going to be the teddy bear, but here comes Safety. He kicks D-Dan into the turret range, and it will be the kill. And I believe Safety gets the second kill of the game for himself.
So that was a very nice gang coming in from the south. TFR, they managed to get all their damage down onto Nick's Water, getting the Panda Paws to come out the river just to do that additional damage to get him down. But however, Safety was just in time to respond to that very well, kicking D-Dan into that wall, getting the counter kill back. So once again, the game is back even, a kill apiece, as SAJ are not going to let up from the aggression that TFR are putting out.
What I have to say here is that the Fat Rabbit, they have done a very good job this game so far, especially Panda Paws against Lovita. Patchap taking a little bit of damage, but going back to my point, Panda Paws, he's done a very good job of controlling Lovita in the mid lane, making him die twice, and as well as, you know, when Fizz usually hits level 6, he's the one to try and get a little bit aggressive and roam around the map, but it is Panda Paws who's making the moves and getting the kills in the side lanes instead. Now we see Lovita making a little bit of roams over here, but a good ward from the Fat Rabbit spots him out, and they're able to prevent themselves from getting killed.
Crazy Pine trying a little hook on Su, not going to get it. So D-Dan's back in his top lane. He's going to just sit in his top lane, make sure Nick Swallow is not going to have a time of his life. Meanwhile, Safety, knowing that D-Dan is on his top half of the jungle.
Oh, but the ward from Nick's Water, a very sneaky one over there, is able to spot the Fat Rabbit team members. And that's going to provide him another net of safety against what the Fat Rabbit is able to do. So consistently, the Fat Rabbit, they have been trying to camp out Nick's Water, but he's such a crafty play, dropping those wards to spot them out. And look at it, his drop 2 wards down. So we actually see D-Dan. He's going to be dropping a pink ward down in that tri-brush. They're going to clear another ward. But what you don't realize is that there's a second ward over there to spot them out.
I think they do realize it, considering that they do pink it out, so something has to be amiss with Nick's Water backing off so far from the turret. The Fat Rabbits do know something is going on, so they are just going to go back to their lanes.
Meanwhile, Pashat begins sprints. This is a battle of 2 very star AD carries. Pashat being killed as the hero of the SG NYC after last week's TLCO safety miss. Crazy Pine in the jungle. He gets taken up rather low, and now Crazy Pine might be in a little bit of trouble. He gets the hook on the safety. Here comes the damage. The Charmed Waters goes on the Crazy Pine. Lovita goes onto him, but Exhaust is dropped. Ignite as well, but he flames him out of the damage, but now, oh, Panda Paws is the one to be a little bit of trouble. Prince comes in as well, but the flash mechanics are just too good. Here comes the teleport. It's an all-out brawl, and it's gonna be a kill for Prince.
Wow, Safety getting that jump onto Crazy Pine. Doesn't look like the aggression is gonna stop yet. Joke Boss might want to try something, but it looks like just gonna back off for now. Dragon is gonna spawn in 1 minute. SAJ come out of that fight, 2 kills for nothing. Very unfortunate positioning coming in from Crazy Pine. Wasn't expecting Safety to be in his jungle, but that's what you get when D-Dan was spotted in the top lane.
Very aggressive positioning coming from Safety. Looks like the Fair Rabbit, they need to do a little bit of work in their own jungle to try to get back the vision as well as control of the game.
Right, you can see on the side of TFR, SAJ has wards littered around their jungle, and the Fair Rabbit is not going to find any wards. They're going to find that pink ward, but there's still 2 wards along that path, as well as a ward on the red buff. So SAJ do have the information that they need from the red side jungle of Fat Rabbits.
So Dragon will be spawning in a matter of another few seconds, but we actually see D-Dan rather low over here. We have to see the Fat Rabbit will be able to react in time to this one. We already see D-Dan recalling his race against time, as Saigon Jokers, they are already starting to set up around the Dragon Pit.
SAJ posturing around this Dragon. D-Dan, will he make it back in time? They're going to start up the Dragon right now. The shield coming out for Safety, so will this Dragon is going down pretty quickly, so D-Dan probably won't make it in time. Xerath, will he try for a steal? It looks like Fat Rabbit is just going to let the Dragon go, not even realizing that it's been taken.
So it is going to be a second Dragon over to the side of Saigon Jokers. That's going to give them a little bit of bonus wave clear over here. So the Fat Rabbit, they're falling behind in terms of objectives, but they still have a slight goal lead over their opponents. We have to see how this game pans out. So Freedom, tell me about the scaling on both sides and how this is working for both teams.
So on the front of Fat Rabbit, they do have the Irelia, who is very good in the late game. We have the Xerath, who has the long range poke and the siege potential coming in. But they do have a Grace who doesn't really have the best sieging capability. He has the wave clear, but he doesn't have the range to deal with turrets. On the side of SAJ, they have Prince, who has the
Oh, this might be a 4-man dive on the pass trap over here. His game senses time to jump, flash out of there. He gets knocked out by the tornado. Here comes the fishes. Everything onto him. And Lovita will be able to escape away as well. But in exchange, the Fat Rabbit, they get one turret. And the rest of Saigon Jokers, they're all rapidly recalling. They get a turret as well, 1 for 1. But the Fat Rabbit, they're moving on. They're going to be going for second turret. So this is going to be a very interesting scenario with both teams racing against each other. Prince as well as Su, they're choosing to push together with the mid lane wave as well. It's a second turret for the Fat Rabbit, and there's a huge hole in the mid lane for Saigon Jokers. But meanwhile, Prince as well as Su, they make it even by taking a second turret of their own in the bottom lane as well.
Well, you're asking me about how the late game is going to plan out. SAJ just took 2 turrets down in that bot lane, which would be the lane that is the best lane to push if you're going to contest for Baron. So SAJ has that potential coming in for them in the late game. They might see that as an opportunity. TFR on the other hand managed to push down their mid lane, so they are having that better map control over the jungles of the side of SAJ, and we do know how much D-Dan loves to be in the enemy jungle.
Now, here's how this tower exchange works out. So, taking down the mid lane turrets opens up your opponent's jungle a lot, like you mentioned, Freedom. So, D-Dan will be able to make a lot of aggressive plays where he groups together Crazy Pine as well as Panda Paws. And what this bot lane is going to happen is that it's going to make it a lot harder for the Fat Rabbit to approach the Dragon objective in this case. So both of them actually scaling pretty well in terms of their objectives over here. And once again, very aggressive positioning from Safety. Are they going to catch out Crazy Pine? But they find Pass Chap and Safety is on a killing spree.
Safety has been sitting in that red brush for over a minute. Pass Chap didn't even realize that he was in front of him. Even when Fizz jumped on him, he couldn't even get away because Safety was already there waiting for the kill.
So now Saigon Jokers, they have grouped up around the mid lane, but they won't be putting too much sieging pressure as they know as the rest of the Fat Rabbits are there to respond. In fact, they've dropped 2 wards over there to spot them out.
So D-Dan is going to try to go into the side of jungle. Su's going to catch him out.
Oh, D-Dan a little bit of trouble. Here comes Nick's Water. He's waiting for the equalizer. D-Dan unable to flash across, and they're just dropping kills left and right. Saigon Jokers doing a fantastic job of finding picks.
SAJ really turning on the aggression, finding members of the Fat Rabbit call out one after another. Fat Rabbit have to group themselves together. They can't let themselves get caught anymore.
Lovita still hanging around the flanks over here. They definitely want to go for a huge engagement in the mid lane. Crazy Pine drops down the ward. They spot out Lovita. Here comes the equalizer. It's the exhaust onto Lovita as well. He's unable to land the hook just yet. Now Jokebody goes in for engagement. Will he be able to find Prince? There we go, right off the arcane. Chunks Prince really down low, but no kills for the either side just yet. Major ultimates blown by both sides as well.
Very nice exhaust coming onto Fizz. Lovita getting that exhausted. He's still instantly back out of there. So equalizer thrown, counter aggression coming from Fat Rabbits really pushed SAJ off their turret. So they will keep their mid lane turret for now. As we see D-Dan is going to try for some counter jungling once again. Going to drop some vision down this time. Probably not going to go in if he doesn't feel safe enough.
Now the thing about Saigon Jokers is that they know that in their own laning matchups, they aren't really that strong against their opponents given the current state of the game. So look at the way that they have chosen to split 1, 3, and 1 to pick up farm from all 3 lanes at the same time. They have Fizz in the bottom lane, Rumble in the top lane, and the mid lane, which was previously getting bullied out by Panda Paws, has got a 3-man stack of Prince, Su, and previously Safety to deal with it. Here comes Crazy Pine, finds the hook onto Lovita, but there's just too much pressure coming in, and it's going to be a free turret for the Saigon Jokers.
Right, with Xerath not in lane, they're not going to have that wave clear that they need. So SAJ is going to pick up that simple turret as they back off.
The warning from Saigon Jokers has definitely been immaculate as well this game, putting lots of focus, putting lots of vision pressure onto the areas that they want. Dragon will be spawning in another minute. We have to see if the Fat Rabbit will be able to react to this major objective better this time around.
1 minute up on the clock to Dragon. This will be the third Dragon for SAJ if they manage to pick it up. TFR have to make a play at this point of time. They are losing turrets one after another.
Well, the thing that is going for the Fat Rabbit is that this time they have a nice set of wards around the Dragon area to spot the open. They haven't cleared the ping just yet, but with the Dragon spawning in 30 seconds, that might change when Saigon Jokers, they themselves, start to move into the Dragon pit.
Right, as you mentioned, SAJ are going to start moving into the Dragon pit. Will they start carrying out the wards?
Teleport available for both top laners. This might explode any moment if any major skill shot lands. Be it Charm the Waters, the death sentence coming from Crazy Pine, or the stun from Panda Paws as well. So it is the Scuttle Crab, I believe, in the favor of the Fat Rabbit that's going to be able to spot the Saigon Jokers, and I think it's going to be rather dangerous for SAJ to continue around there. Oh, they find a hook onto Prince, but once again, just no follow-up yet. Crazy Pine, he needs to save these skill shots for when they matter. And now the Fat Rabbit making a very methodical approach, but Saigon Jokers, they start out the Dragon over here. Jokebot does that, the teleport just yet, and it is going to be the steal and the escape as well, but here comes an equalizer on the 3 people. The Fat Rabbit are on the run. No, he then just goes right back and dropping the Cataclysm to slow him down as much as possible. Here comes the counter teleport. They wanted to trade the objectives. They lose a member in the process, but the excellent teleport from Nixwater will be preventing Jokebot from taking down the top lane turret.
Wow, SAJ managed to pick up that third Dragon.
Sneaky play coming from SAJ, just waiting on the pink wallet brush over here. They're trying to find a kill on the pass chat, but the Fat Rabbit, they smell something is up and they're playing a little bit defensively or not. Once again, Saigon Jokers looping around the sides. Are they going to be finding the flank onto pass chat? They know the ward is being dewarded, but do they bail out of there? Oh, it's the 3 against 4. Jokebot is in a very awkward situation right now. He has a turret for himself, but we might see a huge dive coming in for him over here. Oh, the Fat Rabbit, they need to respond to this one quickly.
4-man stack up his top lane. Jokebot, will he says that something is coming. Safety's gonna loop around the back. Jokebot.
There we go. Multiple members coming in. Safety. Will he be able to get the kick? Jokebot has the flash. Will he be able to escape away from that one? But looks like Saigon Jokers, they know the rotations are coming. They have done the warding and they see the Fat Rabbits coming and they wisely choose to back away from the situation. It's a very delicate dance at the moment, and we have to see how both of these two teams manage it. Saigon Jokers just stacking up in a brush over here. They know they have the map control and they want to punish. Pass check, barely dodges out the Charm the Waters, but now D-Dan's the one in a whole bunch of trouble. Here comes Jokebot from the side. Are they able to get safety? But Saigon Jokers, now they are peeling back. Lots of back and forth action. The Fat Rabbit, they need to scale up. There we go. It's the Radiaki chunking multiple members down, but it is the Jenna Tornado to cue them right back up. So Saigon Jokers just simply bullying out the Fat Rabbit out of the side of the map.
Very well played, SAJ. They managed to pick up that blue buff, but very unfortunate for them that the Charm the Waters didn't really land on Patchap, and Safety didn't really get that kill on D-Dan. Bring the members of Fiat Rabbits down quite low, didn't secure any kills, but they do get a turret as well as the blue buff in exchange.
So Saigon Jokers being the more decisive team, they are the ones to set the focus onto the game, and we see them slowly taking away objectives from the Fat Rabbit, who haven't really managed to rally as 5 to find the defense against them. Just here comes D-Dan, he goes with the flag as well as the drag, but he's unable to find anything. Crazy Pine gets the hook onto the AD carry. Are they able to get this as a Cataclysm Prince in a whole bunch of trouble? But where's the Seraph? No return damage, and D-Dan simply falls to the burst damage coming from Saigon Jokers.
Lovida has that leash bait as well as the large rod. The amount of burst he is outputting is so much. D-Dan just gonna fall in a couple of seconds. They just took that kill, got out before the turret even started doing any damage to them. Next water got dropped pretty low, but Lovida gonna look for another kill. Oh, he's just gonna back off. So SAJ really knowing their damage outputs, getting the kills and just backing off before anything goes awry.
So Saigon Jokers, in 25 minutes into the game, they've taken themselves a 4,000 goal lead, a rather comfortable goal lead over their opponents currently. So the Fat Rabbit, currently playing from behind, they got 3 kills in the early stages of the game. That was rather impressive, but they need to do a little more in order to beat out the current favorites of the group. Alright,
so Jokebot has completed his Triforce. Graves has a Yomu's Ghost Blade. But Nick's Water has that Zonia Hourglass. So the next fight is going to be
we're going to be at 2 times speed. They throw out the ping one and oh, it looks like I don't have to wrap after all.
So both teams do have their core items. So the next fight is going to be very explosive. We do have the Zonias coming from Nick's Water. Once he drops the Equalizer, he can guarantee his own safety. So looks like SAJ is going to push out this top lane. Jokebot's going to take this turret at the bot lane in exchange. Will TFR loop around? They do see that SAJ are in their own jungle right now.
Lots of aggressive movements coming in from the Saigon Jokers, moving deep into the opponent's half of the map. The Fat Rabbit not able to respond at all. They're just getting picked apart left, right, and center, and simply donating free objectives to their opponents. Now Jokebot in a little bit of trouble over here. Lovita as well as safety going on to him. Well, it's a 2-on-1 over here. Let's see if Jokebot will be able to escape. It's the Chum the Waters drop ready now. D-Dan, he goes in, he tries to find Prince, but where's the rest of the Fat Rabbit? Where is Past Champ? The Graves is not in the fight at all. It's the Wrath of the Arcane, but he's unable to get anything, and Jokebot will fall in the bottom lane instead. So the Fat Rabbit unable to pull their members together and just split pushing at all the wrong times.
Nice equalizer Chironix Water, cut off one of their escape paths and really stopping TFR from really going and countering the aggression coming from SAJ. They had that backup plan. They have the Jana Monsoon to keep them healthy. So SAJ really knowing the limits of their champions, knowing the limits of their team comp, picking fights that they know they can escape from if anything goes bad, and really showing their dominance as the team with the lead.
Oh, Saigon Jokers moving very aggressively. We're moving at 2 times right now. Fry my breaker any second. Once again, I'm in the hyper speed mode. And we have slowed down once again. I'm not really sure what's happening over here, but looks like they want to finish up the game as fast as possible. So they're going for the Dragon right now. The Fat Rabbit, are they going to be surrendering the Dragon once again? Or the Steel, will that be their focus? Safety goes in, out, and grabs the Dragon for themselves. So there's Dragon number 3 for the Saigon Jokers. And with the aggressive roaming style, the bonus 5% movement speed together with the Janna will be giving them lots of advantages. Lovita tries to do out with Jokebot, and now the Fat Rabbit, they're trying to move around to respond to that. They catch out safety, but once again, there's just no response. D-Dan, he completely misses the flag and drag equilibrium. Equalizer not hitting onto anyone. D-Dan tries to escape, but the damage coming from Nick's Water will be able to pick him off. The Fat Rabbit, they're just way too discoordinated. That hook, once again, they're unable to follow up anything onto it at all. Saigon Jokers just doing a much more coordinated job and picking apart the Fat Rabbits. Here comes the type up from Jokebot, but is this too little too late? Panda Pause already has fallen, and he's going to eat the shark as well. Prince 2, 0, and 7 on Lucian, just snowball out of control completely.
Sneaky little safety, managed to get away from that sticky situation with a ward on the Razor Big Cavs, totally juking out the South Rabbit and turning the fight on its head completely and bringing themselves the fight from that. And safety just doing that job Lee Sin, making use of the ability as they siege down this bot turret.
Oh, they find a hook on the safety, but is this the defense that they are looking for? They find a kill onto Lee Sin, but Nick's Water pops the Zonas in this case. We see Lovita stepping on top of the wall. Will Fat Rabbit be able to kill this menacing mid laner over here? Panda Pause is still nowhere to be seen. He just respawns and he's just dropping down the Wrath of the Arcane. Pasture barely survives. Oh, the burst comes in and they do pick up the support. So it is a 4-for-3 trade in the favor of the Fat Rabbit.
SAJ going a little bit too deep right there. Everyone taking out so much damage from the turrets as we go to 2 times speed.
So this is happening so that we can finish the game as soon as possible. We experienced some technical difficulties earlier on, but now that we're back into the game, we want to be on 2 times speed so that we are able to finish the game faster, so that we can move into game 2 as soon as possible. I still have no idea how this game is going to turn out. It's still anyone's game at this point. I will say the Saigon Jokers, they have a slight lead, but in my heart, I'm still rooting for the Fat Rabbits.
Right, so Fat Rabbit is going to start pushing around this Baron buff. SAJ know there's something up. He's going to drop their own wards as well. D-Dan's going to clear out this pink ward. Safety is not going to choose to go in just yet. Alright, both teams
SAJ,
just pestering around.
Now the other ones to split 1-3 but TFR, they aren't really able to force engagements onto the opponent due to the Janna speed boost coming in. So they're going to be trying to establish vision control around the Baron area.
Fat Rabbit's 5-man stack in this mid lane. SAJ's 1-3-1 split push is going to slowly do their work. Rumble is at the bot lane. Up. The minion wave up with his push. So TFR.
Here comes the potential teleport coming in, and the split pushing Grace might get caught over here. Past Champ in a whole bunch of troubles. The Chum the Waters. Past Champ will be going down once again. Way too much split pushing, and he gets deleted by Nick's Water as well as Lovita.
Nick's Water teleporting in even to secure that kill. So it looks like SAJ is going to go for this Baron after securing that kill. Jokebot has been sent to that bot lane, so there will be no response coming from Fat Rabbit, as this will be a free Baron from the side of SAJ.
So that is going to be the Baron for Saigon Jokers, and I do believe Saigon Jokers with this huge goal advantage, just repeatedly picking out the Fat Rabbit, should be able to close out the game.
Right, so every member on the staff area is going to start recalling. You're going to pick up some items as to prepare for that fight. It's going to be coming up pretty shortly. SAJ do have that Baron buff on them. Minions are going to be starting to push even harder in the lanes. That 1-3 1 speed push will do its work, but it looks like they're just going to send Fizz down the mid lane as they have a 4-man stack down this bot lane.
So Saigon Jokers, now it's the Fair Rabbits turn to group up as 5 and try to catch out the split of Saigon Jokers. This has been the cycle of the game. Saigon Jokers, they will split, the Fair Rabbit, they will group and try to catch the Saigon Jokers, but nothing happens. And then the Fair Rabbit, they feel that it's their turn to split and take the farm around the map, and then Saigon Jokers will simply group up and find picks onto their opponent. D-Dan in a whole bunch of trouble right now. He gets kicked back into the rest of the team. The insect kick just being too good, and Saigon Jokers, they find the kill and the man advantage.
So 4-man off the Saigon Jokers on this bot lane turret. Fair Rabbit is choosing to send Jokebot back out top this top lane. They do have the teleport if they need to. SAJ just going to tank up this turret. Safety is not going to carry about the damage, as they're just going to start chunking the turret down. Fair Rabbit have no response to this. Will they go for the engage? They do not. Are they just going to give up the free inhibitor for free? SAJ takes the inhibitor. Fair Rabbit still have Jokebot up in this top lane. He's going to get that second turret, but I doubt he's going to get this inhibitor turret. SAJ just going to back off from this one. Fair Rabbit losing their bot inhibitor does mean that they're going to have a huge middle wave coming from the bot lane as SAJ picks up another dragon for themselves.
Oops, sorry, that was me on the comments over there. So what is going to be happening later on is that we will be moving directly into the next game the moment this one ends. So there's going to be no breaks. It's back-to-back action on the GPL.
Right, so SAJ picking up their 5th dragon of the game. They do have that buff coming in. Oh wait, no, it is just the 4th dragon, sorry, my bad. So the 4th dragon coming in, so SAJ do have that power spike. They are just going to siege down this mid lane. Fair Rabbit will have to make their final stand if they want to keep in this game. Four-man stack up in this mid lane. Fair Rabbit are poised to fight in this mid lane. But SAJ, will they go for the engage? Hook comes out, not going to land. Jokebot goes in.
Now Joe Boy tries to find the engage over there, but the Fair Rabbits still unable to breach the defenses. Every time they grouped up, they try to engage the fight. Saigon Jokers, they've done a fantastic job of avoiding those engagements. And here comes the counter engage, dropping the equalizer. Next one, they're doing a fantastic job on the Rumble thus far.
So SAJ still have Lovida up in this top lane, pushing out. Equalizer is going to drop Jokebot pretty low, so their engage method. Oh, D-Dan comes in.
There we go, the Cataclysm finds Prince, but it's just way too mistimed. He just uses the flash and is able to escape away from the major engagement coming in from the Java. Now the Fair Rabbit, they've used all the important ultimates, and past trap as well. He doesn't have his flash available. Looks things are going to be very precarious to them, and Saigon Jokers, they're just going to be hammering down this mid. It looks like this might be the final fight of the game. Past Trap standing way too far right now. Oh, will safety be able to land the King? Next Water is going on to him. He lands the slow as well. Past Trap in a whole bunch of trouble. He tries to return the damage, but Next Water doesn't fall just yet. Safety gets hooked up. And now the Fair Rabbit, they're going for an engagement. Safety is still alive, saved by the Mikhail's Pentecost, caught on by the side. But the exhaust does drop on him. D-Dan will be falling low, and he will be going down. Joba tries to go for the re-engagement. It's a double kill for Lovita. Saigon Joker just simply tearing through the defenses of the Fair Rabbit. It is an inhibitor. It looks like with so many people down, this is going to be the game. The first Nexus start is down. It's going to be the second Nexus. Can Pentecost hold them off? The bulk damage coming from the Seraph is going to be a lot, but will it be enough? It is going to be the Nexus. Saigon Jokers, they take game number 1. So it is us back to the casters, and very soon we'll be back right into the game with picks and bans.
Right, so due to technical issues, we didn't really mention this, but there is the IM qualifiers, and with the game going to SAJ, they just